So I got this Husqvarna LT 1538. And they said you can mow for a while and then it just quits mowing, quits running. Let's see what happens, huh? We'll just drive it around a little bit and see. Well, that ain't good. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and check the battery. I know it's dead, but I want to see if it tells me anything. I have to put a charger on here in a minute. Okay, 12 volt. Out of vehicle. It says cold cranking amps 250. State of health, dead. State of charge, dead. State of everything, dead. Alright, let me put something on there for a minute and see what we get. So, we got that on charge. 36%. We're going to put on 2 amps for a little while and charge it and see what happens. So is the battery dead because it's junk, or is it not charging? Okay, when they brought it here, they coasted it here because they couldn't keep it running. And then they started it up, and as soon as they started running it, it started doing the vroom vroom, the hunting thing. So I was assuming carburetor. Let's get some charge in the battery. Try not to run these with junk battery, because the charging systems are kind of delicate and they will cook a charging system. The dead battery will. And the PTO clutches, if you got a PTO clutch, they need 13.2 volts. Okay, let's see what happens. Sounds like a fuel to me. Now it started hunting. New air filter. That's nice. Okay, don't put that on there, because you know what? If we start this up, that thing's gonna spin around, and this stuff's gonna go. But then you ain't gonna have it, are you? Or at least I won't have it, I guess. Alrighty, we'll just pick this one. I had a can of carburetor cleaner there, but it's kind of weak, almost empty, and I don't have enough shooting power, I don't think, because I got to sit on the seat. Oh boy. So whenever I do this, start this up, if I give it just a little dab of this, enriches the fuel mixture up, and it runs better, then we're talking fuel. See how it kind of clears up for a second? If I put too much in it, don't. Okay. Okay, now I still don't know if it's charging, but I'm convinced that we're having a fuel issue. Usually hunting like that is a fuel issue. So I'm gonna let it cool off now, and then I'm gonna take this carburetor bowl off and see what we got. I don't know if I'll take the hood off or not. It's probably easy enough. Let me put my can back. Kohler. Yeah, I hope you can see. I just took me some needle nose pliers and got a hold of that. I'll pull this fuel line off. There is a shut-off valve, just for safety. There is a shut-off. Oops, sorry. There is a shut-off, but okay. Then we're going to take these two off, and we'll be able to see what we have to control the linkages and stuff. Okay, so 10 millimeter. I don't know if you guys are seeing this or not. You know, I try to like this GoPro, and I try to use it. Man, I give some of them guys credit that that's what they use all the time, a GoPro. Now that fell out of there. This is hooked on. I'm trying to take it off of here. You can take it off of here too, but then you take a chance of getting dirt in there. Now, I don't know if you can see, I started to pick it up, so I hope you can see. See that little tab? You push up on that, and it'll unclip that. And they put it back in the back spot. It is a little harder to get to. Okay, see that little clip? You definitely don't want to lose that. Okay. So there's that one off. Sometimes you can pull these. These are the same, only different. Sometimes you can pull this off of here now, flip it down, and just pull this one out of here. So that just comes down and hooks, and it's hooked out right here. Well, I hope I was recording just a minute ago. I ain't got time to go back and look now. Sorry if I wasn't. I was just explaining about this little clip on that rod up there. This one has a ground wire running to it for some reason. Oh, and I lost the star washer. This is a star washer. These are very, very, very nice things to have on electric connections. So for now, we're going to put the bolt back in, because that way, hopefully we'll remember. Now let's see if we can get this off. Try not to tear that gasket. Okay, now we should be able to just roll that out of there somehow. My problem is I can't see anymore. Anybody else have that problem? You can't see? Okay, it's pointing back this way, so we gotta roll it. I got out of there somehow. Oh boy. Here, you know what? Okay, so I ended up having to get it twisted around there. I don't know why I had such a hard time with that thing. You just want to try and make sure you don't bend them up. I'm gonna hook it right up there, and this one here. Oh boy. So now that gasket's on there pretty good, so we're gonna leave it on there. I have to get me my little bench set up here, and we'll tear this apart. So I got a white cup, but see how I rolled that thing around 3 or 4 times. Now what I did, I just sprayed it off with brake clean and took an airline and blowed it off. It did come fairly clean. A 1/2" wrench. This one's got plenty of room. Some of them you got to have your wrench ground down. No wires, so I'm say someone's been in here and clipped that off. I don't know why people does that so much. Look at here, now we're starting to tell a story maybe. Is that grunk on there? I don't know. Let's get this bowl off of here. I want to try to catch what I can. In there. And there's what come out of it. Look at here. Let's get this bowl gasket out of the way. See that? That's your problem. Old fuel, ethanol. Maybe some kind of stabilizer. Some of them stabilizers ain't worth putting in, buds. Tell me different all you want to, but not all of them's really worth a penny. Some of them do worse than others. Some, you know what I mean? I guess I'm trying to say is sometimes you're better off not to put any in there. I don't know if this has fuel stabilizer or not, but it sure looks gelled, don't it? Okay. We want to just wipe this off. Try not to get carburetor cleaner, brake cleaner, nothing on this gasket, because it's going to swell. Then it ain't going to fit. A lot of times they don't fit anyway. It's nice if you can get some of that white stuff off of there. I got some different size of these gaskets, but I don't know if I got one for this Kohler or not. Put this over here. Put my parts over there, that way I'm not knocking them off of there. We'll take this pin out of here. Now there's a couple different ways you can go here. We're gonna try to clean this up, see what happens. And oh, it's probably not very much to buy a carburetor. And now you're gonna start on the, well, the Chinese carburetor ain't no good, blah 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 blah. You're correct, a lot of them are not, but a lot of them there's nothing wrong with them. All right, where do you think that a lot of these manufacturers get their stuff from? I ain't gonna say every one of them out there is any good, but quite a few of them are. Get that cleaned up, don't lose that. There's the needle. That little rubberish tip, that's another place. Keep your carburetor cleaner off of that. You can break them. Them little tips will come off of there too. I've had them where people have been in a hurry on push mowers and stuff, and I've pushed them tips back up in there and they work. I ain't saying to do it, I ain't saying to take them off. Probably a bad idea to take them off there. Now here's where we get into some crapolas. See, we gotta get this crap off of there, which looks like it's gonna come off. I wish I had these gaskets. Here's my dilemma. I'd like to get these gaskets off here without breaking them, but yet clean this. So how do you do that? I don't even see a screwdriver slot in that jet. They're not. That sure looks weird up in there. Can you see up in there? This pilot jet here, it's a wee little bitty baby screwdriver, got a little cap on it. Gotta watch taking them caps off. I ain't gonna say it on this carburetor, but I know some of the Hondas and stuff, they make them real thin there, so if you start messing with that, it breaks off, but then you gotta take the screw out. Itty bitty baby screwdriver might do that one. GoPro, stop recording. So what I want to do is go in first, which would be feels like it's already all the way in. Seems like about a half a turn. You can't go in super hard with them because you end up messing the seat up. This is really soft stuff. What did I do with the spray stuff again? I was gonna get this with a lick of cleaner. I'll just wipe it off. Okay, now that's just a curb idle speed. That has nothing to do with anything. See, the thing is, if these would come off, and I know I can take a razor blade, I can do whatever. I don't try to just spray it out and blow it off. Make sure you don't have a bunch of debris and crud on the float. This doesn't look that bad. What it was doing, it was probably sucking that stuff up in there. And that's why he said sometimes it would run good and sometimes it wouldn't. Where did I put my can? Where did I put it? Try a can of carburetor cleaner. How about that? Just give us a little spray to dampen it up. Let her sit there a second. See that little hole there? You gotta be real clean because that's where the fuel comes in. Some of them is in that screw in the bottom. The screw's cross drilled, but when you see that, that means that that's where the air oh boy, that's where the fuel comes in. The other thing is, see all this crud on here? You don't get that stuff off there because you want that to seal. But you gotta be careful with metal objects because you'll scratch stuff this soft. Get this all cleaned over here. See, that's the problem. See, I'm having to scrape this out of there. So that's what's going to happen in the carburetor too, if that stuff's up in there. Get a little squirt in here, which I don't think this is bad, but you still want to clean everything out. I'm gonna let that set. I always spray and then let it set a minute because that carburetor cleaner will work pretty quick. And then let's give her a little zap here. If you get on that tube or whatever, it should come out inside. You should be able to see it come out in there. Boy, it's playing gasket roulette with these gaskets. Don't care. Can you see that coming out of there? Or do you need light? I can probably get you some of this light. And probably not the best with my screwdriver handle. That's why I don't like them padded, cushy things. So we know that's open. So here I spray in that hole. It comes out up there. There's another little hole right here. And wee little pinholes. You just want to make sure you get all those sprayed out, and then we're going to take air and blow them out. We got baby over top of her. And I don't know if you can see this, but watch it come out right there. Can you even see it? Can you see it coming out? So at least, you know, when you do that, you know them at least are fairly open. I don't like all of that crap in there. We'll clean some of that off there while we're waiting, huh? I'll have to quiz them. Ask them if they put any kind of stabilizers in this. I'm betting we'd be okay. I'm gonna try to put some right through here. And here's what I like to do. Take a bread tie. Get rid of that old outer stuff off of there. Just don't break these off in the carburetor. You know what I'm saying? We know that one's open. Let's just leave that one alone. You can see it's coming inside there, so that's good. And we could see that it was coming out of there whenever we blew up through there. I just like to do this and keep them wet for a little while, especially if I'm not soaking them. Let me put you back over here. Can you see anything? I'm gonna blow this thing out. Blow every passage out, even them little ones in there and stuff. I can feel that coming out of there. When you blow in that spider hole, you feel coming out the front here, so that's open. I can feel coming out in there. Now, I want to just, for good measure, we're probably good to go. See what's happening was that gel stuff. You can really see it in there now, I hope. But that gel stuff was getting coagulated in there. Now I lost my light. Man, I've lost everything sitting here, ain't I? Well, I was going to show you, but that's what it is. That stuff there is just getting up in the jet every time it runs. And here's the thing. He said he could run it, and sometimes it would mess up like that and then shut off. And he let it set for a few minutes, and it would start right back up. Okay, now there's a couple possibilities. Carburetor or coil. But here's the difference usually. I ain't gonna say this is a foolproof every time thing, but carburetor, all this gunk gets stirred up in there, either gets stuck into that little hole here, or into the main jet or something, and makes it not run right. Okay, and that stuff gets sucked up in there. As soon as it quits running, this stuff is heavier, so it'll settle back down to the bottom. And it don't take that long. And once you start it up, just in a few minutes, it'll go again until it sucks that stuff up in there. Usually a coil, when they get hot and quit sparking, there ain't no more spark at all until it pretty much gets to ambient temperature. room temperature or whatever. Like I say, just for good measure, I want to just sit here for a few minutes and do this. And then I'll bring you back. GoPro, stop it. So now we'll put this float and stuff back in there. That needle can just hang in there. This one doesn't have no springs over the needles or nothing like that. It's gone. I'd lost it. Get this in there. You got your little needle down in there. And then, oh boy. Oh boy. Gotta find that pin I told you not to lose. A long day. Anyway. I think what we'll do is once we get this on, now look, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but that float should be, this gas is certain, blah, 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 blah. Can I try that 3 more times? This gasket surface and this float ought to be just about on the same plane, should be like parallel to each other. There ain't a whole lot you can do to these plastic ones unless you try to heat and bend and crap. Our gasket, it is what it is. It's either going to work or it's going to leak. I'm pretty sure of that. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's either going to do one or the other. Get that all the way down on there. I like to get it basically where it belongs. Because if you don't have it there and you put that bowl in there, this one still has a gasket here. Now this bowl's just round, so it don't matter which way it goes. Some of them bowls are different. They got a flat spot and all, so you got to know how they come off. Usually the flat spot goes to the hinge on the needle. Okay, now tighten this up. You can always come back and snug it up later. Don't be Hercules. Okay? Very soft metal. Don't be a Hercules. Now we'll get this baby back in there. What was it, a half a turn? Something like that. Whatever you do, comes with one of these little carburetors, don't force anything. If you gotta force something, you're gonna break something. Okay. Half a turn. I'm gonna go 3/4 because I feel like it. So there we are. Gotta get the linkages back on now, huh? GoPro, stop recording. So remember this guy here? See how he just like come down there in a hook? I don't know why he was so hard to get out of there. Went right back in. I'll go ahead and put this on. Now this one fell off and it sure looks like it goes this way. And we gotta get that back in there and get it clipped on. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that stuff or not. So there's that little clip. This little, get the linkage in there. And then you gotta get that piece clipped down on top of there. Heard it snap. Heard it snap. We're good. We're good. We're oh so good. Okay, dokie. That's on there. That's on there. That's on there. You know, why not put the wire back on? Star washers, great for electrical. I know this ain't very entertaining for you guys, is it? This might be entertaining. My glasses, my light, and everything. Okay, anyway, like that. We got plenty, so I'm gonna snip a little off. Now, you know, most of the times I worry about the fuel lines. Anytime I clean the carburetor and stuff out, I look. But this one has more dirt. I really don't see the black speckles of fuel line. When the fuel line starts coming apart, you'll start seeing little speckles of black. You want to make sure you keep that on there, and if that hose is broke or cracked or anything like that, replace it. If not, it's just a way for dirt to get in the engine and in there. I'll tighten that up here in a second. I just had the screws in my hand. There they are. Here they are. Oh, I found the screw. Oh yes, I did. There's little metal inserts in this plastic thing. Make sure they're in there, because that's what you tighten down to. The little metal, just little sleeves inside here. And again, to do this, you don't have to be a Hercules. You just, you know, I'd say it looks like they've been doing something and maybe trying to fight this problem. They was on the right track, maybe. It looks like a newer fuel filter. Maybe I'm wrong. Make sure you put your hose clamp back on your fuel line. See, it's like this. Some reason or another, I think that's supposed to be like that in some respect. Now I might blow their filter off a little bit. Now, you know, it started dawning on me, why did I have that problem with the other ones? Well, you know what, that thing, see this little notch here and that little notch and all that, that stuff just fits right together. Ain't that amazing? So all that you see me putting it in there, that's wrong. That's wrong. Don't even do that. Why would you do that? Let me blow this off a little. Now let's see if we can get this on there. Now the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this fuel on. And I'm going to wait a few minutes and I'm going to check. See, right now I'm dry, and around the bowl I'm dry. So I'm going to let that have a little bit of time to dry, or to dry up, to fill up the bowl while I put some tools away. And then the next thing is to take her for a test run, eh? We might have to adjust that pilot screw in or out a little bit. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, remember there's that little, I call it the pilot screw in the front here. I thought I had that recorded, me adjusting it. What I did, I let the mower get warm, and then I brought it to an idle. And what I did, because I was in there a good ways, only 3/4 turn out, what I did was I tried to turn it a quarter turn out, and then I waited a minute and listened to the engine. And I kept doing little quarter turns and waiting, because you got to wait to see what it does. And I just did it. I probably come out another turn, but I just kept going out until the engine ran smooth at idle. Okay, so I've had it running a little bit, and everything's dry. I always check and make sure it's dry. See, right there's exhaust. So especially something like this, make sure it doesn't leak. Okay, my fingers are completely dry. Now as far as the charging, I come over here and I get looking here and see there's a red wire. It turns to a blue wire. It goes through all the safety switches and all, and there's a wire just completely missing. If you fill in the wire up in here, there's a bump right there, and I would imagine that's the diode for the charging system. No regulator, just a diode. So I'm gonna go for a ride. I did have to adjust that screw that we took out and we went back in 3/4. I had to open it up a little more. And you do that at idle, you get it warmed, and you do that at idle to where it doesn't lope or sound bad. Let's see what she does. Yeah, come on. Maybe I shouldn't have choked it. Yeah, I didn't like that choke. See, it'll idle down. Runs good and smooth. I was mowing a little bit back here with it.